Hey everyone, Fulza here. Today I'm starting a new series where I go over how to counter champions in the top lane. So I'm going to be having mostly general information, I want to say. There's going to be a couple like Garen slash crit Garen specific things, but I know that player base is small, so I just want to make the information as broad as possible as someone who's played top lane for many years now in high elo. Before we start, I just wanted to make clear a couple things that I won't be doing in any of my guide videos, and I wanted to put them here because this is the first video. So I've noticed with a lot of guide videos, it's like some 30-minute game where the person gets really fed off of random situations and they present it as if that's something that you can do that will be consistent. And I think that's very disingenuous and misleading. So I'm not going to have any games where the jungle impacts top, whether it's a random skirmish that either laner gets kills off of or a jungle ganking a top lane and then getting their laner ahead, because I don't think that that's something that you can rely on. So I'm just going to be having games where it's a 1v1 and that's the entire lane is just a 1v1, and I'm going to be giving tips solely based on that. Additionally, I'm not going to include stomps at all. I feel like most of those games are just you playing against a very bad player who doesn't know how to pilot the champion correctly. So I'm not going to be including any games that are just like me stomping someone because they don't know how to play the champion. And then finally, I will try not to make these videos very long. I know there's a lot of like full game videos, which I don't think is necessary, especially for countering a champion, because the 1v1 is what matters. After the first 14 minutes, the game could go any of a million ways, and there's no point in showing that because it's not repeatable. So starting off with a couple of general tips against Darius, I don't really play any champions who can just all out beat him in a 1v1, so usually what I like to do is play passive early, give him space, keep the wave near my tower, and therefore if I want to fight him, I can always back off the tower range and he can never pop ghost and run me down. Additionally, you just want to make sure that you always dodge the blade of his Q. A very reliable way of doing this is as soon as he pops his Q, you want to, instead of running away, which he will expect, you pop whatever movement speed or dash you have directly at him, because he will naturally run towards you, assuming you will run away. And if you do that, you should always get hit by the hilt and take no damage and no bleed. I also want to mention, Darius should win 1v1 most matchups. The way that I can outplay it is because a lot of Dariuses will make a mistake, and when it happens, you need to capitalize on it and get a solo kill. It's kind of like playing against Jace players, you know? Like, their champion has so many tools to always win if they play perfectly, but nobody's playing it perfectly. Like, I am in Grandmaster Elo, I'm going to show 3 games. In every single one of these games, I wait for the Darius to make a mistake, which they do, and then I get multiple or a single solo kill on them, which is very important in lane. But the thing is, you have to be very patient and wait for the opportunity. If you try to fight him earlier before he's made a mistake, or if you make a mistake yourself and you get solo killed, then you're in a very, very bad spot, and it's hard to come back from that. The first thing you should know when playing against Darius is what ability he took level 1. So if they show Q, you can walk up, take minions, or even go for a little trade. Whereas if he doesn't show an ability or uses W on the wave, you want to play passive because they can threaten ghosting and running you down with W. Now just notice here when it's sped up how much space I'm giving him. So I'm never even approaching his E range because I know that I should be playing passive early because he wins an all-out 1v1. So here, you're going to notice he's going to use his Q and his W on the wave right now, and because he has those abilities down, I know I can go for a trade, and I'm okay with this because the wave is so close to my tower that even after taking this poke here and dodging that, he cannot run me down because I'm close to my tower. So now I've recognized that he's made that mistake, he's lost a bunch of HP, and now I have flash, ignite, and ult up, and I know that I can look for an angle right here with my first strike to amplify my damage. And there we go, we get a solo kill on the Darius. So here you'll notice that I've already broken my rule about not including any game where the jungle impacts top. And I wanted to show that because even though I got the kill on the jungler and I'm ahead of him, I'm still playing passive. I'm still giving him all the space that I can and just taking the minions that he allows me to take, because I know that, again, even with a lead, if I don't play it right or if I make a mistake, the lead's gone immediately and he can just run me down on repeat. So here, I have Gale Force, I look for a fight. I could have actually killed him here if I flash ulted, but I ended up not using it. I ended up shoving the wave instead and just diving him here. So now, at this point, we've solo killed the enemy Darius twice, and we're taking the tower, so the lane phase is over. So now, let's move on to the next game. So in this game, enemy Darius shows Q level 1, so I know that I can walk up, take some minions, and proc first strike on him for a spicy 7 gold. Now here, you're going to see me misplay. I wasn't thinking about his XP level and didn't notice that he would get level 2 off of that minion, so I was not far back enough. I took a very bad trade. He gets me down to about 100 HP. I get his ghost and I get out with flash, but again, it's just a really bad trade. I should have just backed off when I knew he was getting level 2 and just waited for my opportunity. So again, just giving him space, taking a couple trades. If people freeze on you, you just gotta wait it out. 95% of people who freeze, they inadvertently mess it up eventually, so I just end up waiting in the bush most of the time. And here, as you can see, even in the highest elos, they'll still mess it up. So right now you're going to see he makes his first mistake. He goes for a trade in a tower, and even though he does good damage to me, he takes a tower shot and a Q from me, which is bad for him because I have Flash and Ignite. And now his second mistake here, he walks up to the plate, I get a second Q on him and an auto, and now it's just a matter of waiting for my Q to get up so I can flash combo him for the first solo kill. And there we go. This ended up being the end of lane phase for this game. I just gave him space, played passive, and that was that. So let's move on to the next game. So this game we're playing against the same Darius as last game. Please don't think that I'm just killing him because he's a bad Darius. He's actually a Grandmaster Darius main. And again, he starts Q, so we're allowed to walk up. So I just want to show here, he hadn't shown Q yet, so I was completely prepared to walk away after Eing if he W'd me there. And you can see right here, as soon as he starts popping Q, I move my mouse from away to him to moving towards him to proc first strike. So back to the game, we're just going to be playing passive again, giving him space, just like the last 2 games, and we'll just wait for him to make a mistake. We'll see what happens. And here, I even recognize that it's coming. I guarantee you this guy's just going to make a misplay, and then I'm just going to win off of it. So here, he uses Q, so I Q towards him to dodge his Q, and then he chases me into my wave, and there's his misplay. And just like that, we have a lead now. So just to recap, you want to play very passive, keep the wave near your tower, and then wait for him to make a mistake and capitalize off of it. One thing I didn't mention previously, as you can see in most of the solo kills that I got, I used my flash and ignite without him using either some, so for a while after that you have to play extra careful because he can easily just ghost or flash and run you down. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments, on Reddit, Discord, or Twitch. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you next time.